This briefing will cover the period today, Thursday, October 9th through next Wednesday, October 15th. So we'll just start here with the upcoming weather pattern here across the CONUS, and particularly here for Central North Carolina. So you can see today we got some pretty nice high pressure up over New England, extending down into our area. Some nice fall-like weather. We got some cooler temps expected today into tomorrow with dry weather, maybe a little northeasterly breeziness today, particularly. But overall, high should be quite nice in the upper 60s to lower 70s. And then we should have some pretty crisp and cool weather overnight the next 2 nights with some lows in the mid 40s to lower 50s, and perhaps some of the cooler spots dipping into the lower 40s tonight specifically. So some nice weather today and tomorrow. As we progress into the weekend period, we're still monitoring this potential coastal low. There's still some uncertainty, which I'll, as far as precipitation and amounts and other impacts for Central North Carolina specifically. So I'll tap into that here the next couple slides. But overall, the general consensus is, those who are further east, particularly I-95 east of the coast, have the best chances for some higher rainfall amounts and perhaps some gustier winds later Saturday into Sunday morning. But I'll touch on that a little more detail here the next couple slides. Otherwise, that system should generally pull away by Monday morning, as you can see in this lower left plot here. And behind that, we should have a nice ridge build early into middle next week with some high pressure extending some dry with a little bit warmer temps, perhaps Monday and Tuesday, and then cooling back to near normal by Wednesday. So that's the general pattern here over the next 7 days. So back to that coastal low. Here I just wanted to highlight really the uncertainty we still have at this point as far as how much rain we might see from this coastal low here in Central North Carolina. So I just want to show you kind of the range of outcomes. This is kind of the difference in the boom or bust potential here with the system, and you can kind of see there's some pretty good spread in when you compare the 90th to the 10th percentile. So both these plots are showing the 24-hour precipitation amounts through Sunday morning. So this would be 8 a.m. Saturday through Sunday, 8 a.m. And this is data built on an ensemble of about 100 different weather model simulations. So pretty good spread of data here to look at, a good statistical breakdown of the data. So here in the left panel, we have the 10th percentile. So this is the low end, kind of the bust potential here. And you can see in some of these readouts over the cities, you're looking at really basically no precipitation over the western parts of our Central North Carolina here. And then really from Raleigh eastward, we're only seeing a couple hundredths of an inch in this low end scenario here. And if we compare that to the 90th percentile, so kind of the boom potential here, you can see that there's considerable difference. We have anywhere from 1.5 inches, 1 inch to 1.75 inches here in the triangle area, and then you get into the coastal plain, you're looking at 2 to 2.5 inches, and then obviously more as you get closer to the coast. So I guess again, the main takeaway here is there is still some spread here in the how much rain we might see from this system. We'll probably have a better idea in the next couple of days here through tomorrow when we start getting into the high resolution model land here and ensembles. And as well as once the low actually forms, and I think the models will be able to handle a little bit better. But overall, though, the main there is better confidence that those along and east of I-95 probably have the best chance to see some higher totals with this system. And again, we could see gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour later Saturday into Sunday. And again, the better chances for some of those higher gusts would be along and east of I-95 into the coastal plain. So I just want to highlight that. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the system. So what is the actual official rainfall forecast? So this was the overnight forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. And you can see again here, the first top 2 panels here we have today and tomorrow are going to be dry. And then we really want to key in on the Saturday QPF here. So this is from 8 a.m. Saturday to 8 a.m. Sunday, the same time frame as those 2 plots I just showed you on the last slide. and you can see that the Weather Prediction Center has a pretty tight gradient here in the coastal plain. I'm showing you here with my cursor, and then obviously higher amounts out over the Outer Banks. You know, the official forecast here right now is showing anywhere from a quarter to half inch in the triangle to you know, upwards of 1 inch to 1 1/4 inch in the I-95 corridor. So that's a pretty steep gradient there, and where that sets up is kind of challenging to determine this at this point. So as we continue into Sunday, in the lower left corner here, you can see that they're still highlighting at least some smaller amounts as the system pulls north into the Delmarva Peninsula up here. So the 5-day total, again, is really just highlighting the Saturday, Sunday period here, and we should dry out again as we get into Monday into early to middle of next week. So why does this matter? We have our latest drought update here from the North Carolina Climate Office, and you can see that if we compare it to last week's drought status, where we already had an abnormally to moderate dry, D1 dry conditions out here in the coastal plain, that they have decided to increase some of our northeastern counties here into D2, severe drought. So they have not had a lot of rain there in several months. And that's kind of right where that gradient is where we could have maybe some higher amounts and maybe not. If you hit that bust potential, 10th percentile, if that actually ends up showing up, maybe they don't get that much. So I think overall we've been told that this time of year the impacts are not too intense from this kind of drought, but it is something that has developed here over the last several months. So they could definitely use the rain out there. So anyway, so yeah, I just want to highlight here the latest drought update that came out this morning. And again, we'll have to see here. Hopefully, those areas can get some beneficial rain from this coastal low. With this system as well, we're not in the next 3 days through early Saturday, we're not expecting any heavy rain or flash flooding. However, the Weather Prediction Center has extended this marginal risk, this green area here in the right panel. They have extended that up into our coastal plain for Saturday night into Sunday, and then they extend it into like our northeast sections, Raleigh northeast, Sunday into Monday. So, you know, they're generally highlighting a pretty wide area of potential. If you do get some of those higher totals, I guess there could be an isolated instance of some flash flooding in the urban areas, maybe Fayetteville, Goldsboro, but I mean, honestly, they're so dry out there. It would take a lot of rain over a short period of time to really cause flash flooding. So I just wanted to mention that even though this shows there's no threat, the Weather Prediction Center has, if you go to their website, you can actually see their excessive rainfall outlook. And if you see Saturday and this Sunday, they do extend this marginal risk up into our area, and they do have a slight risk, so a little bit higher risk for some flash flooding in the inner and outer banks area, which makes sense because that's where they have some pretty high QPF totals. So generally overall, we're not expecting at this point much in terms of impacts in general from the storm. Even in those you know, higher boom scenarios, I would be really surprised if we have a lot of flash flooding or anything like that. It should be pretty isolated and into the urban areas, if at all. Same thing goes with the severe thunderstorm potential from the Storm Prediction Center here. Not expecting any severe weather with this system as of now. Kind of switching gears here, just wanted to show you the latest Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook here, because we are still in hurricane season. But as of now, there's nothing threatening North Carolina in the next 7 days. So there is Tropical Storm Jerry, or I should say Tropical Cyclone. Yeah, I guess it is storm at this point. But you can see here in the upper right, I did include the cone for Jerry here, and it is expected to become a hurricane Saturday and Sunday, but it's going to stay well east of us. So there's no expected impacts to North Carolina from any tropical systems at this point. And this low is that I've been talking about, this coastal low is not expected to be tropical in nature. So that's why it's not showing up here on this plot. Just kind of switching gears here really quick, just looking a little bit further into the future. This is the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center and the precipitation outlook in the same time period that we like to show every week. And so this is valid for October 16th through the 22nd. And it looks like the signals in the extended guidance is pretty much not showing a above or normal trend in any capacity as far as temperatures here on the left panel. So they're expecting near normal temperatures for our area in that period. However, there is at least somewhat of a signal for perhaps maybe some drier than normal conditions across our area, and also extending into the deep south here. So yeah, so that's kind of what to look forward to here in the mid to starting to get into that later October time period. So I just got a quick summary for you, and then I can answer any questions that you might have. So yeah, again, we're gonna have really nice weather here today and tomorrow, with some cool, crisp nights, some nice weather here the next 2 days. Still monitoring the coastal low, and as I said, there's still spread in precipitation potential, but we'll probably be able to key in that a little bit better here in the next day or so. So check out weather.gov/raw for updates on that, and our social media accounts as well. And then after that system pulls off to the north up into the Delmarva, Sunday into Monday, and then early to mid next week, we should have high pressure building down, and generally seeing dry and near normal temperatures in the forecast during that period. As far as the hazards and impacts, again, we're not really expecting pretty much minor to negligible impacts. So at this point from that coastal low, but surely again, we'll continue to monitor the output here and check back for updates. And with that, I'm gonna